I've got an hour to kill. I've got a stream that's chill. I'm gonna use my computer skills. I've got Photoshop and I've got OBS. Yes, I do. Gonna teach you. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday. Oh, still got that reverb on my voice. That's nice. Welcome. Guys, this is not Wednesday Night Rager. This is not your regular programming. Do not be alarmed. No, welcome to another exciting episode of In the Effin GaRAGE, a show name that makes much more sense via text. But when you say it out loud, you can't just say like garage. You got to be like GaRAGE, GaRAGE. There's no proper way to say it, but that's fine. I'll work on it. That's what the show's about. It's about working on things and getting stuff ready. It's about building stuff. It's about learning stuff. I am the Ace Frehley of OBS. I'll take that. I think Ace Frehley's kind of neat. Probably had the best solo career of any of them. Yeah, so let's kick into it. Guys, this is the Effin Garage. We're going to be going over some... this is a show where I go a little behind the scenes of our streaming channel and like how we do the things we do. And I wanted to do this specific stream to teach people how to start their own streams. I feel like Twitch is very exciting right now because it used to just be like streaming games and stuff. But in the last 3 years... or maybe 5 years at this point, they've opened it up a little bit more towards creative stuff. And I truly think Twitch is like the new public access TV. It's, no one's watching cable right now. You're watching your streaming services and stuff like that. And I think we're missing that just like infinite output of creators that was public access TV. And I think streaming fills that gap in a new and much larger way. It's very insane. And I think everyone should take advantage of it. If you're a performer, I know a lot of people are hurting because of COVID-19 right now. Heard of it, y'all? Have you guys heard of this thing? And I think it's time for us to look for new ways to pivot, new ways to perform, new ways to get our comedy out there or our art out there or whatever the fuck. If you jump on a pogo stick and you're really good at that and you want to fill time with that, you can do that on Twitch. And maybe people will watch, maybe they won't. That's not important. What's important is that you're doing it and that you're creating. So yeah, let's crack into the the dang garage over here. So I'm actually this whole time. Whoop, not that. This whole time I'm going to be working on my laptop over here. This is just a crummy little Windows laptop, but it runs OBS just fine. So we're going to jump over here. This is that laptop that I just showed you. And I'm going to go ahead. So we're going to be working in OBS today. What OBS is it's open broadcast software. Now, open, meaning it's an open source program. So it means it's 100% free. Users are updating it all the time. This is what it looks like. Let me actually open up. If you go to obsproject.com, you can actually download this program for free. It runs on Windows, runs on Mac, it runs on Linux. Does all this business. I would recommend doing it on a Windows computer just because open source stuff is a little easier on the Windows operating system. But if you got a Mac, it works just fine. We do our show every week on the Mac. There's definitely a lot of workarounds, and I'll kind of note those as we go through this. But for right now, we're going to be running on the Windows. So I've already downloaded this, blah, blah, blah. So let's get to it. So let's see what we're looking at here. And I'm actually just going to turn my cam off for right now. So this is OBS. What an exciting program we got here. So let's look at what we got. And I can even, let me hide this logo for a little. I'll hide the logo for a second. But guys, branding is very important. So don't hide the logo for too long. You want some stuff on there. You want to know what they're watching and who they're watching. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is OBS. Got a toolbar up here. This guy right here is, I would call it the canvas, I suppose. I'm sure they have a name for it, actually. Yeah, we'll say the canvas. This is the canvas. This is this black screen right now. If I were to go live, this black screen is all they would see. It would be completely blank. So, kill the cam. You're seeing this minus the graphics, blah, blah, blah. So right now we got nothing. Over here is our scenes. I'll get into that a little bit more. And over here is the sources for the scene we are currently in, which is scene 1. We're just in single scene situation. Over here is the audio mixer. We currently don't have any audio coming in, so we don't have to worry about that quite yet. And over here we have start streaming, start recording, start virtual camera, studio mode settings, and exit. You can guess what exit does. That's very strange that they add that instead of just hitting the X, but it's kind of nice. It's you're using the front door to go out instead of running out the window. So when you have a stream, first things first, we need video, we need audio. We got the classic AV. It's what makes up a video production, I suppose. So we're gonna go over to sources. The first thing you want to do is add sources to your scene, to your canvas. So we need to add a video source. We need to add an audio source. So the first thing we're going to do is click this plus sign to add a brand new source, okay? Now over here, we got a lot of options, a lot of exciting options in my opinion. But we're going to go first to video capture device because we want that video first things first. So we're using a video capture device, not a media source, but something that's capturing, and I'll go into what those other ones do very soon. But let's open it up. Now it's giving us a chance to give it a name. Always name everything because once those sources start filling up, it gets very confusing where things are. So I'm going to call this cam, and I'm going to say laptop because we're going to be using my laptop cam first things first. So making a camera, it's going through. What can we add? I'm going to use my integrated webcam, and as you can see on here, just a little webcam up here. Not the best thing in the world, but it's what we got. Okay. I'm seeing from Necromancy. Apparently the large window is called the preview or live view in documentation. And I'll get into multiple windows in a second, but we'll get there. So back over here, I'm going to hide myself again because now you're just seeing too much of me. So you can see I have added the webcam. We've got some settings over here. Don't worry about those for right now. We're gonna stick to the old defaults. We got device default right here. So we pop it in. This webcam is a little bit smaller than my output device. Oh, we're getting a nice little delay. Whoops. So this is smaller than my output device. So what I'm gonna do is hit Control F to full screen. But before I do that, I'll show you. You have this bounding box right here. This bounding box is not going to show up. I guess I can look right here. This bounding box is not going to show up on your actual stream. So if you ever use like Photoshop or any video or image editing software, you can grab that bounding box. You can make it small or large. You can see if I make it too large, it shows you that some of it's spilling off. If I click off of it, it won't have that bounding box, but you can see when I click over it. So I'm going to make it small again. If you hit Control F, that automatically stretches it to the size. I got too many cameras here. It'll stretch it to the size of the canvas, and then you've got, it's fit in there. So, and that can be used for any image or anything. If you are worried about moving stuff, you can always hit this lock here, like any standard image editing software, and that makes that bounding box disappear. I can't accidentally grab it and move it around midstream. You can also right-click and select Fit to Screen. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so let's do that. And OBS for a very long time did not have Edit Undo. We're in the future, baby. They added Undo very recently, and it has been a whirlwind for me. So yeah, if you right-click any object, it's going to give you a lot of set of instructions here. So I'm going to do Transform. I'm going to do Fit to Screen. Bingo. So next thing to add is audio. Now you can see over here that it's added an audio source. If I were to plug in a webcam that already had, I'm going to open this one because now I feel like I'm always looking at this camera. If you were to have a webcam that had a built-in microphone, like actually this one right here, I guess I could show you in that camera. This is getting real Inception-y. So I've got this little Logitech camera right here. And not the best quality of video as well, but it truly gets the job done, especially when you got a little bit of light on it. So if that had a built-in microphone, we would be seeing some audio levels right here, but it is not. So let's add ourselves an audio source. So we're going to go to the plus sign to add something. Scrolling down here, we see audio input capture. You don't want output, input. It's going into the computer, and the output will be what the actual stream it's sending. We'll go over output maybe at a different time. But so we're going to choose an audio input capture. I'm just going to call this audio laptop mic. Cool. I'll hit OK. Now it gives me another choice the same way as the video does. I can choose from a list of devices. For this computer, the microphone array is the little mics that are on the front of this, the default microphone. So now you can see some levels are coming through. I will start streaming on here. This is going to my other account, Net of the Dead. I think, Nick, you're the only one watching at the current moment. So this is probably not helpful for people watching it later. But just in case, if you go to twitch.tv/Net of the Dead, you can actually see what's coming out of this laptop, what we're doing live. And for people who are randomly watching the Net of the Dead Twitch, what's up? Go over to Effin Rager, y'all. Cool. So that's going right now. It's streaming. You can see it's blocked out, so it'll let you know while you're streaming if you accidentally have like a hot mic moment or something. It's giving you a heads up. So currently have audio coming through. I'm gonna mute this even though it's not putting out audio, just a force of habit, just in case you never want. You always want to make sure you have all of your video and audio kind of under control, because once you start adding a lot of sources, random things might start making sounds, and you just want to be aware of that. Okay, so got here some pretty okay video, pretty okay audio. But these are the things that are built into the laptop. So let's try switching to something external. Let's try plugging in something different. So I'm actually going to take this webcam that I'm using for the small screen down there, and I'm going to plug it into this laptop. So let's see how the quality of video changes here. Uh-oh. Something just fell down. Okay, so I'm plugging this into the laptop right now. Hopefully it doesn't have any drivers it needs to install, but okay. So now I've plugged in a new laptop here. I'm sorry, I showed you my floor for a second. So I'm going to add another video capture device. At any point, if you want to change the source of something, so I could double click this cam laptop, and it'll pull up those settings. Whoa, get out of here, Logitech. So I can plug this in, and it gives me a chance to change the devices that are plugged in here. But for the sake of this right now, I'm going to go ahead and make a separate source, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to make a new video capture device. And as you can see here, it has add existing, and I'll show you why that's important when we move on to scenes. But I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to call this cam _ webcam. And now I'm going to choose the HD Pro webcam C920 because I am a pro. And for some reason, on this computer, this webcam comes out in a square. I don't know why it always does this, but I'm going to force it real quick to 1920 by 1080 if it will let me. Cool. Okay. I don't know why it does that, but very odd. So now I've got a new webcam here. You can see the quality is a little bit different. I'll even put it on top, kind of where my laptop webcam is. So you can see here, and I'm going to, as you can see down here in our sources section, we got these little eyeballs here that allows us to turn stuff on and off. So camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. So that's why instead of replacing the source the first time, I went ahead and made a separate source, because this is already, we got 2 cam sources here. So now I can very quickly, talk to you over here, and then quickly over here to camera 2, then quickly over here, and then quickly over here. already we got a professional situation going here. A multicam setup. Are you joking me? This is great. So options for yourself if you're looking into getting equipment. A webcam truly gets the job done, but I've learned very recently, at the start of the pandemic, Canon decided to make some firmware for all of their Canon camera, or not all of their Canon cameras. For their EOS digital cameras, they've made a new driver that you can install and use your camera as a webcam. So I'm going to pop this guy on. We're going to have a 3-cam setup real quick. And I'm going to plug it in real quick. So let's get this guy going. I haven't charged the battery in a while, so hopefully it's hopefully it's cool for it. So I'm going to add one more video capture device. I'm going to call this Canon. Say that 10 times fast at your computer real quick. I'm going to open it up, and we will choose from the source, EOS Webcam Utility. Now, you can download this at canon.com. They have a list of what cameras it works for. Okay, I am actually hearing... I'm going to go ahead and mute all these because I just heard something weird in my room. Maybe that was just my room making sounds. Okay, so we got a whole nother camera here. Obviously has some white balance issues. That's something that you could look into. But now look at this. We got camera. Wow. That's, I don't even know where to turn anymore. That's exciting. Guys, that's very exciting. I'm going to turn off that Canon camera, though, for right now, because it seems like it's not as efficient. It looks kind of weird. So, we're rocking and rolling here. I'm feeling pretty good. We got a nice little scene go right here. What do we got? Net happy to say, not joking you. Well, my friend. So, let's talk about audio a little bit. So I know it's very hard to kind of show off what the audio quality is right now. So I'm gonna turn over to my actual computer. So I'm gonna go back over here. Whoa. Oh, because I unplugged the webcam. 1 second. Let me turn on my FaceTime camera. Jeez, wow, what a shitty camera. But hey, it makes do. It's still got video. You can broadcast this. Most people are watching this shit on their phones. This probably looks pretty decent on a phone. So worry you not. So I'm on this computer right now. I'm currently using a mixer. Here, I'll show you from... God, I have to switch so many different things. I will show you from this camera. I got this little mixer right here. There's my DDR pad. I got this little mixer right here that I'm plugging this microphone into. So it's a little more advanced audio setup. And you can see... Whoop. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the audio from this mixer to just like the built-in computer microphone. Okay, so now I'm talking in the built-in audio. It sounds okay. You can tell I'm in a room. You can tell there's echo here. If I clap my hands, you know, you can hear a lot of ambient noise. It's cool because I can step away, I can stomp, but you're dealing with a lot of extra noise, as opposed to, we switch it back over to this microphone, and suddenly we're in Quality City. Suddenly it's sounding very cool. So a mixer, obviously, that's a little bit of a lot to add. So there's a lot of alternatives. A lot of people use those snowball mics for podcasts. Perfect situation to use. I don't have a snowball, but we've got this USB webcam, or not webcam, jeez. Will you clap and stomp with a good mic? Oh yeah, sure. So you can see, like, I mean, obviously it's quieter farther away. I'm also using a stand that is touching the ground, so stomping is probably a bad example. You can probably hear that very loudly. But as you can tell from the quality of my voice, it's more direct. You're not getting that ambient room noise as much. Also, I'm using this mixer to send different audio inputs in, so multiple mic situation is all going into one USB unit, rather than... using two of these microphones if you were to have like a second host with you. So I'll plug this microphone in and you guys can hear. a little sound quality difference. I'm just got like all this gear out today. This is fun. Give me 1 second to plug this in. Okay, so I have plugged this microphone in, and I'm going to move this away. Talking. Can't hear anything right now. I'm going to switch my output. I've never used this USB microphone on this computer, and I can't necessarily monitor it right now, so hopefully it sounds pretty good, but yeah, okay, we got the right microphone here. So this is an alternative. It's great. It's got a little spitwire on here, or not spitwire, a little pop guard on here, so you can't hear me too bad. And this is simple. I'm not sure how much they got this for, but some of those snowball microphones go for like $40. You can find a used one for super cheap, and it's a great option to get you started. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to this microphone. Okay, cool. Now I can hear myself again. How fantastic. So I'm gonna swing back. I'm gonna plug this microphone into this computer so we have a little bit nicer of a situation. So I'm gonna pop on back over to the garage. Sorry, I was running out of USB here for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna change this to that microphone officially. So if you're watching on the Net of the Dead stream, I bet this sounds pretty decent right now. I'm willing to bet bucks to dollars this sounds great. So let's. So I'm going to rename this real quick because now we have changed the input, and remember, we always want our names to be very accurate for the sake of it. So I'm going to change this to USB mic. Okay, cool. Everything's labeled. Everything's plugged in. I'm going to delete this Canon one because I turned that camera off. I don't want to use it right now. Now I know where everything is. It's great. Stream's looking pretty decent. But as I mentioned before, it's nice to have some overlays, right? It's nice to have something to kind of brand your video. You know, we're not just projecting out a cell phone live video. You know, like I mean, it's great to go live on Facebook. It's great to have your phone out, kind of do all that stuff. But if you want to make like an actual show, if you want to make like a cool project, you got to give it some life. You got to give it some style. So let's swing back over to the garage. Now, you could use Photoshop. You can use a video software to make this kind of stuff. You could use anything, but I'm going to try to keep everything to free softwares right now. OBS is free, and there's free alternatives to stuff like Photoshop. I have been using recently Pixlr. It's Pixlr. Oh, you can see it on the screen, of course. This is a free Photoshop kind of clone editing service, but it has a really cool situation going on here. There's Pixlr E and Pixlr X. If we go into Pixlr E, this is pretty much Photoshop. It's pretty great. We can create a new file, blah, blah, blah. You got all your tools there for those of you familiar with Photoshop. But for right now, we're going to go back and we're going to use Pixlr X. This is more of a, well, it's a quick and easy graphic design tool. So let's drop into this. I'm going to create a new thing. We're going to give our show, let's give our show, one of these little watermarks first. Let's make a little watermark for our show. So I'm going to make a new file. I'm just going to do 1920 by 1080 for right now because that's the size of our canvas of our video. But you can get whatever size you want. I'm going to call this one logo. So we got our new thing here, and instead of the tools we had before, we've got these like simplified tools. But I say simplified, they've got some very cool pre-made things that we can change up. So if you click on any of these, we can use one. I think the show that we're making is like pretty effing twisted. So I'm going to go with this keep trying logo. Let's see how long it takes to load. Okay, cool. Keep trying. Very cool. So we can go into each of these layers. Oop, can we? Yep. Okay. Cool. So we can go into each of these layers and change what they say. So I'm going to call this, we're going to call this show Ned's World. Because that's where we're at, baby. And, ooh. Oh, okay. So I can change the font. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to keep the font how it is. I'm going to click on this next one, the trying. Wow. That's twisted. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. So let's take all those. Can I select all these at once? Oh no. Oh no, I went into this not knowing how to use it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see what's happening here. So I pulled out a line thing. It was just taking a second to load. I'm going to pull this to the top right. Is that going to do it for me? No. Can I select everybody? And can I move everybody? Okay, cool. Yeah, now we're talking. So, same deal. We got a little bounding box right here. I'm just going to make it kind of small in the corner. Ooh, a little bit of lag here. That's okay. That's okay. We're rocking and rolling. Is this, there we go. Okay. Well, it saved it. It caught up to my save. I'm going to hit that. We want to use a PNG. JPEG, of course, does not have transparency, so that's not going to overlay on your video. PNG is pretty optimal. WebP, I don't know enough about that to suggest it. Necromancy, maybe in the chat, you can say something about it. But PNG is like the optimum transparent image type to use for this. So, calling it logo. It's downloading right now. I'm going to go ahead and make a folder on my desktop. This once again goes into a WebP is like a super low file size, but like a PNG. Okay, so WebP might actually be the way to go. But for right now, I'm an old school kind of guy, so we're going to use PNG. I'm going to make a new folder on my desktop. Call it Ned's World. We're going to have a lot of assets, and it's so important to keep your stuff organized. So let's go to my downloads. Our newest thing was... Oop. Well, where did it go? Oh, I'm in documents. Suckers. Okay, so I got logo 1 right here. Drag that onto that bad boy and close this. And I'm going to rename this Ned World logo. Okay, so let's come back to our OBS, come back to the garage. And I'm going to go ahead and add an image. We'll call this logo. Say okay. We're going to browse and go over to that folder. Go over to Ned's World. Add that logo. And whoop-bam. That's looking pretty good, right? It's looking great. WebP is really for high quality, low file size web content, not a factor when streaming video. Okay, so let's not worry about that. Let's stick it to the PNG. So I've got this nice little watermark style guy up here, but I kind of want it to be transparent, so just in case I put my hand here, people that lack object permanence aren't losing their fucking minds. That's, anybody can be watching your show and you want to make sure it's accessible. So let's, I'm going to click this guy. And so we have properties when we double click this guy. These are like what the source is made of. But we also have filters. So if you actually look above here, when I'm double clicking this logo thing here, it's the same as clicking this properties button. But I can add filters to this. So I'm going to add a filter and we get this new little window. And it's the same deal as the sources. You've got plus, minus, up, down. So I'm going to add something. I'm going to add a color correction to this. And it gives me a few options here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the opacity down. You can actually see it happening live. So now Now we're rocking and rolling with a pretty nice little watermark there. So once you're done with that, you can hit close. And I'm kind of in business here. Let's add a few more graphics. I'm gonna hop on back over to Pixlr. Nick and I were looking at this earlier, and we found that there's a ton of like frames built into this. So I'm gonna close this logo file. And actually, as you can see here, Pixlr's kind of saved everything I've done today. I believe you can make your own free little account and actually save everything just on a little drive here, which is, it's really cool. This is the first time I've like really cracked into this, and I am very impressed with it. So I'm going to use a frame right now. So I'm going to call this frame. And I'm going to go to add element. And we've got all these like overlays and borders and shapes. So I'm going to go for border. And there's some like really wicked stuff in here. Some really funny, dumb stuff. I would love to use... Oh, no. Okay, so maybe not all these are free. Let's see what we can get out of this. Okay, we got a cool little brush thing. Transparency. Oh, interesting. So this is not already see-through, I suppose? Or not already transparent? Nick, can we get a confirmation on this? Oh, the crown icon means it's not free. Weak. For kings only. I'm not going to use those brush ones right now because it looks like we'd have to remove a few things. But let's check out this abstract element. Oh, actually, okay. Check this guy out. This is pretty nice. Just some like kind of random shapes strewn about. I think this one works pretty well because we already got our logo hanging out in the top right situation. So let's keep that guy and let's just go ahead and save it as it is. We'll call it frame. We'll use PNG because it's transparent. It's 1920 by 1080, which matches our canvas. I'm going to show this guy in the old... I was going to call it the Finder. I don't know what it's called on Windows. We're going to drag that into our Ned's World folder. We've all got a Ned's World folder on our desktops. And I'm going to go back into OBS, and I could add another image, but honestly, if we're on the fly here, if we're working... Let's just open that folder. You can drag that directly in. That's pretty nice. Look at that. We got a fancy looking stream here. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that. I'm going to lock that. Now, there's a lot going on the screen. There's a lot of this stuff. But I want to remind you that all the viewer is seeing is what's in this square. And I will... if I hide all this, I can click the background. We can do like a little projector window. And what this does, this is pretty much what everyone's seeing. So this little guy right here. When Connor and I first started doing Effin Rager, it was a live show, and I actually got into OBS because it was a something where I could broadcast a camera. And I could actually put, like, this window right here, I would just put on a projector screen, and we'd use the webcam as, like, a Jumbotron audience camera. And it wasn't until we moved to our radio show that we're like, oh, we'll just use this for live streaming. So there's a lot of applications for this program. My girlfriend's currently using this program to record her lecture, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to show you how you could do that for yourself. So let's... we've got video elements. We've got a cool image. We got a cool microphone. We got microphones all over the fucking screen. We're rocking and rolling. So I'm going to move over to the scenes, unless I missed something. Let me check my handy-dandy notes here. Nope. We're doing we're doing great. So I'm going to move over here from the sources. We've got a section here called scenes. As I've said before, let's name everything. So I'm going to go ahead and name this guy. We're going to name this one main. This is like where all the magic's happening. This is the main host section, you know. I'll call that main. I'm going to add a new one, same way as you would do it over here. We're just going to add a new scene. We're going to call this one, we'll call this one web. So now we've got a new scene. You can notice it did a neat little crossfade when you change between the scenes. And it's erased all the sources we had before. Now I can go over here and add a video capture device again. And instead of creating a new one, I've already made ones that are in that other scene. So I can go over here and choose that laptop camera. And now it's back over here. Use Control F to make it larger. And now I don't have any audio over here. So if you're watching on the @Net of the Dead stream, this is completely silent. You get audio over here, completely silent over here. So you got to add that audio again. So we're going to go to audio input capture. We're going to add an existing one, the one we had before. Bada bing, bada boom, we got the audio. So we got two separate things. But obviously, you don't want them to be the same. So I'm going to actually take this camera. I'm going to put it in the corner, streamer style, baby. And we want to put something behind here. I'm going to add a new input here, and we're going to add a window capture right here at the bottom. So we're going to add this window capture. Great new. I'm just going to call it window capture for the sake of it. And it is now allowing me to choose which window I want to pull from. So in this case, I want to... oh, did we close the internet here? Nope, internet's open. So let's see what we got here. Window capture. Oh, I was just blind as a bat. Sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and Control F, make this the size of the screen. And as you can see here, it's covering my video. Oh, come, guys. You don't want to cover my beautiful face. Let's go back over here down to our sources. So you can see that this one's on top of it. So this is, if you're not familiar with the layer system, the top is the first thing you see, and it goes so on, so on. Without transparency, you can't see through the item. So we're going to take this, and you can just click and drag it down. Or you can use these arrows. That's what they're there for. Bam, 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 bam. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if the audio, where the audio rests in here. So I usually lock that and throw it at the very, very bottom. What's that? Whoa, 10 Sticker Mule stickers for $1. Dang! What website was that on? Did I miss that? Hell yeah. Okay, well, we'll look into that later. But so now we've got a new scene here where we've got the same audio source. We've got me at the bottom. We've got this window capture, and now I can be, you know, browsing the net, checking out YouTube if we're doing some YouTube React videos or something like that. And then I can switch over to this main camera just as easy. You know what? Let's take that logo. So I'm actually going to copy it over here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste. Bam. So now we got this logo up here. We kept it transparent, so now that we're looking through the net, you know, it oh, well, now you can't see it. But you know, it's not covering up the internet too much, but it kind of is, blah 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 blah. It looks pretty nice. So now we've got, you know, two different things. We can make our stream a little bit more dynamic. We're giving it more scenes, you know. Over to these different scenes on my computer to keep the show visually interesting. So let's go back into the garage. I'm going to make one more scene here, and we're going to make like a waiting screen. I'm going to call this next one waiting. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back. I want to hop back over here to our web section. I want to do something real quick. So notice that my camera, it's pretty wide. I want to have my face still in the shot, but to be honest, I don't need this whole section here. You know, we got all this empty space. So you can actually crop video. Now, there's two ways to do this. I can click on this, and I can go to my filters. And instead of adding a color correction, I'm going to go up here and choose crop. Bingo. And now I can pull up these numbers. You can actually see the video very slowly cropping. So let's put in like 100. So now it's cropping 100 to the left, or I can do 1,000 of the left side. I can come over here, do 50 or 500, blah blah blah. So pretty cool, but it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to juggle. So I'm gonna hit remove on that. I'm gonna close that. I learned this trick from Nick very recently, and it blew my freaking mind. If you hold Alt while clicking on one of these bounding boxes, the video will automatically crop as you drag it. So I can drag this, get rid of all that headroom, and then I can grab the corner and resize it. And now a little bit more compact, a little cleaner looking. If I was dealing with graphics, it'd be like nice to figure out how to crop something into like a little frame or something. Like we could find another frame on Pixlr or something that's a little smaller for our camera. Actually, let's do that real quick. Screw it, we got time. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to do something a little smaller. I'm going to do web small. And we'll call this camera frame. Let's hit the old create on that bad boy. Let's go over to add element. Let's do a border. Let's see if there's like a tiny one that we can use. Okay, this one sucks. Oh no, the crown. I've been got by the crown. All right, let's leave the section. It's clearly not for us free users. Let's get birthday. Yeah, okay. Now, this is truly what I'm talking about. This is the stuff. So I'm gonna download this guy. Same deal. Let's get this folder. Let's open up our downloads. Move that camera frame in here. We always keep our files organized. They're not just sitting in a downloads folder all over the dang place. And, oh no, we want to be here. Let's drag that camera frame onto our stuff. And now, hey, not bad. I look like a birthday boy. And now we're coming back to our our videos over here. And now I got this nice little frame. It's a little not that exciting on the white, but now on this blue background, it's looking pretty good, right? And I'm actually let's take this window capture. We don't want anyone to see what we've been downloading or what tabs we've been using. How about that? Yeah, there we go. Now we got this little thing here. Obviously, the video's a little cropped, so we can stretch it out a little bit. There's just so much open. And now, so you can see this moving on my screen, and you can see these lines out here. You can see all these red bounding box. I just want to remind you that on the streamers, or the people watching the stream, on their screen, this is just moving on its own. They don't see the bounding box. They don't see your mouse or anything. So you can actually just take this GIF. I can take this camera frame. If I'm moving this around on the stream, I can show you on my computer. On the stream, because I'm over here, you can see it moving live. Hey, Nick, I didn't realize you're on this side too. Let's see if it's going to catch up. It might take a second. Here we go. Come on, bud. Almost there. So you can see right there on my screen that it's just moving. It's moving on its own. So if you were to pull like a funny GIF onto your computer or something, and you can move it around, make someone look like they're walking or something. I don't know. There's options here. You can be as wacky as you want to be. That's the best part about OBS. So let's kick back over to weighting. So we're gonna work on our new weighting screen. So I've got this blank canvas again. Now we're gonna do this one different. We don't want video. I'm going to come back over here. You, with your weighting screen, you don't want video. You obviously don't want your microphone to be hot. You don't want to be sitting there talking about like, oh, I'm about to do the stream. This fucking sucks. I hate everyone who watches it. You don't want people to hear that. You want to put on some nice music or something. Here, I'm going to cut back to our weighting screen real quick. So bear with me. My mic's going to cut off, but I'm going to show you the weighting screen. Sorry, I keep going back to that face. Let's stay at that face for a second. Where's my camera? Where are we at here? Badass. And hey, let's talk about that image right there. This image is just a photo I got, and I erased the mouth. And then I just put it on top of my camera, and then I just moved my mouth towards the camera. simple effect that is astoundingly funny to me at least, to Conan O'Brien's writing staff in the 90s at least. Yeah, it's a photo taken in life. It truly is. So let's break down that waiting screen. There's a little bit going on. That bouncing around timers is a little more on the advanced side. But we had a GIF that said "Please wait," and we had an image that was like you're about to watch the Effin Rager or the Effin Garage. So let's do some of that. So I'm gonna hop on over back to the garage. We got our waiting section here. Instead of putting an image back there, I'm gonna find a video real quick. Now, I'm really big on Pixabay. This is more just like free stuff, baby. This is completely free for commercial and personal use. It's completely community driven. There's a lot of great images on here. There's great audio on here. There's so much great stuff. But most importantly, there's some very, I can't say great. There is some great video stuff on here, but a lot of it's kind of wacky looking. But it's all free. It's great, and you can repurpose a lot of it. So I'm gonna look for a globe, because this is Ned's World. You know what I mean? So we're gonna look here. These are sponsored. You can't use those, but we have all this. Oh, something is terribly wrong on this website right now. Welp, I guess we can't use that for. Let's see if it'll play. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like we're having a thumbnail issue on Pixabay at the moment. Usually, yeah, you can see them updating themselves. Usually, you'd be able to see these with the thumbnail, so it wouldn't be a nightmare to navigate. But I really like this one, so I'm going to click this guy. Looks pretty straightforward. Globe takes a full circle around. Fingers crossed, it looks like it's loopable, so we'll use that. I'm going to download over here. I'm going to use 1920 by 1080 because A, it's the largest size available, and B, it matches, once again, our video. So let's come down here. Same deal. We want to keep everything next to each other. And for the sake of it, I'm just going to rename this globe. And we're going to come over here. Instead of dragging it on, I'm going to go ahead and show you what a video comes in as. So we're going to choose add, and we're going to go to that media source. So media source is all-encompassing. I'm saying all-encompassing. It's two things. It's video and it's audio. So if you wanted to add a music track, that is a media source. If you wanted to add video, that's a media source. So we're going to add a media source over here. And we're going to call this globe video. Yes, you don't have to call it video, but let's do that so we don't forget when we have 1,000 layers. Obviously, you can see here, it's missing all the PNGs, the JPEGs, anything that was in this folder. It's only showing me the media that can be a media source. So we're going to click this globe, and I'm going to add it. Wow, that looks great. When I click on this, you can see that it actually shows you where the video's at in its duration. So I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to actually drag it over here to the end. So when this video stops, it just turns off. It's a bummer. You know, we want it to keep playing. So I can actually go back into these properties, or click it over here, and go back into these properties, and we've got a couple options here. One of them is loop. We're definitely going to turn that on. And we've got a couple other options here. This is saying show nothing when playback ends. This doesn't necessarily apply right now because we have it looped. But if I turn this off and I turn loop off, instead of it going to black at the end, this video will finish, and then it just stays still. And the reason I'm calling attention to that is because if you have a, maybe you have like an on-screen graphic that's like, your guest, and it has like a cool little animation, and then like it stops, and then you just have this static text that you can work with. It gives you a lot more control over like whatever graphics you're using. Like rather than having, this Effin Garage thing at the top, if that was like a video element that was transparent, it could do a quick little animation and then freeze, and then you could restart it later if you wanted to. But otherwise, it's just like a one-off and frozen. That's actually what we use. A good example is when we open the phone lines. Do not call my phone line right now. when we open the phone lines, oh, nope, it's not going to open. Here, let's see. No. Let me turn my remote back on. Sorry, guys. So when I turn this phone line open, a video plays. You can see this animation happening here, and then it stopped. So instead of the video disappearing when the playback is done, it's just frozen. And I can close this at any point, and it just goes away. Oops, didn't mean to push that. Sorry, whoops. So when I close it, it turns off, and I can actually open it again, and it will replay its animation. Pretty cool stuff. So let's switch back over to the garage. And that's actually what this option right here is. Restart playback when source becomes active. That's the reason that video restarted. If I had not had that checked, I would have turned it back on, and it still would have been frozen at that final frame. So I'm going to turn all these off. I'm just going to keep it on loop. You can screw with the speed if you want to slow something down, if you want to speed it up. I wonder if you can do the... okay, no, you can't. Yeah, so we'll keep this at the current speed. And so now we've got a nice little video that just sits here and plays. There's no audio attached to this video, but if this media source did have audio, you'd want it to go ahead and you'd want it to be muted. Or if you did want music to play, like in the background of this, if it had a sound cue, you would allow that to play. So I'm going to keep this guy going. I'm going to keep that on mute. I want to add some text. It says like, Ned's World will begin soon. So I'm actually going to go over here, and instead of using an image that we made from Pixlr, I'm going to use the built-in text editor. So we've got text GDI. I'm not actually sure what that GDI stands for. Could be goddammit, could be graphic device igloo. I don't know. Nick, if you want to look that up, you can. Oh, Necromancy's saying, when I play commercials at the top of Wednesday Night Rager, I have that disappear when it's done, so it goes back to the wallpaper. Yeah, that's good. So the video plays out, it finishes itself, and rather than Nick having to manually hide that video again, it turns itself off. It's very self-efficient in that way. So yeah, over here in the text, I'm going to call this waiting text. And now we've got this new little tool thing here. And there's actually a lot of properties in here. I really love this built-in text editor. So I'm going to say Ned's World will begin soon. Okay, so we've got this text. Looks pretty decent over here. I'm going to go to these properties here, and I'm going to change some stuff up. Now, there's no like paragraph tool for any of you who's familiar, once again, with like Photoshop or any graphic editing software. So if you wanted to center the text, you're SOL. You got to just kind of move it yourself. Unless, Nick, you got a trick for this. I, a lot of times, will build text separately, but if you need something to change quick, this is a very great resource. Let me go through these fonts. I never use this computer, so I don't know what fonts are available. Looks like we gotta select these things to change things. Is that actually changing? Oh, because I'm changing it just to Arial. That's silly. Okay, Sentry. Yeah, that's great. This is a classy show, so we'll be using a serif font. Text looks pretty decent. A little too big, obviously, but we can resize that. But I wish it had drop shadow, so we're going to actually go down here and use... Sorry, this computer's got the smallest display. Apparently GDI refers to a drawstring method of graphics class to draw text. So it's a coding thing. Okay. And this text, I will, at the very end of this, show you why this text is like so versatile. But over here, I'm going to go to the color. I'm going to actually change the color over to a nice little red. Oh, once again, looks like we got to have everything selected, maybe? Oh, no, I just hit cancel instead. My bad. Silly me. Is that gradienting it like I want it to? Maybe not. Oh, I have to choose gradient. So I'm going to give it we're going to do a little red-blue. Already, wow. Wow, look at that stunning graphic. I'm going to change this back to a black because I realized I was changing the wrong color. And I am going to... Oh, okay. They have added a lot of stuff since I've used this text. My bad. There used to be a little drop shadow option, but now it looks like there's this little transparency option. But I'm going to give it this outline down here. A little black outline. As you can see now around the text, there's some cool stuff. Can we change the size of that outline? Yes, we can. Oh, yeah. See, we're looking pretty good right here. Does that scale with it? Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and make this like a thick old, oh, can we not go to 24? Oh, I'm gonna click this up real quick because it's being weird. Okay, oh, it looks like 20 is our max. That's why. So make that 20, and I'm gonna set okay. So we got this really cool thing here. And we'll throw it right here. Cool. So we've got a cool situation here. We got this text. We can hit this, we start our stream and it's playing this just for a second. Kick back into the main. We're like, what's up? It's me. Welcome to Ned's World. We're going to be browsing some real wacky websites. So let me get on the net and check out, this donate section. I'm going to donate to this video artist because people who make free videos for people should be paid extra. Blah, 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 blah. It looks great. This is an exciting looking stream. I do want to touch on. Okay, so I'm going to add some music to this real quick. I'm going to go back over to Pixabay. I'm going to go over. Yeah, I got it, bud. I'm going to go back to the home page and choose music. I don't really have a quick way to play this music from this computer and for you to hear it on this computer over here. So I'm just going to choose the first audio track here. So I'm going to choose, it looks like it's called Battle of the Dragons. So we're going to use that as our waiting screen music. So I'm going to go over here. Once again, Battle of the Dragons goes in here. And we'll come back over here, choose an audio. So we're not choosing an audio input capture here because it's not live capturing audio. What we're doing is we're adding a media source because it's playing on its own. It's not being captured. It's just existing. It's playing. So we're going to call this music. And I always try to do like, what is this object underscore, like what kind of object are we dealing with here, and then underscore what it is. So I'm going to say music, dragon song. And this is, once again, just to make it like way easier for you to remember what you're dealing with. And actually, once you have like a bunch of tabs here, it's also helpful to right-click stuff. And you can add set color. And I use this a lot for Effin Rager if I have like graphics I want to mess with a lot and want to click back to. So one thing you're going to learn with audio on OBS is that it has a monitoring system. And this drove me fucking so insane trying to figure out. And it is something you got to learn it right away. I don't know. So I'm going to show you this thing right now. So when you double click this, you've got your properties. We got all this stuff. I can choose loop because if the song runs out and I'm not ready to start the stream, I think it's a pretty good idea to have it looping. This restart playback means that every time I go away from this and come back, the audio starts from 1, as opposed to, I could turn this off. We can be halfway through the song right here, go over here, and then it's like technically still playing in the background. We're still in the middle of it. I like it to restart only for the sake of I'm not clicking back and forth between the audio. So we're back over here, and it's not in filters. This would be if we wanted to add like delay to the audio or make it sound all effed up. But we're going to come over here and we're going to choose this gear over here. So this menu's kind of hidden, and it really annoys me the way they set this up. But there's advanced audio properties. This takes us to a whole different mixer here. So if you're in a situation, you'll notice when we're streaming, we've got these headphones because we're monitoring. I can hear myself talking right now. If I were to put on this reverb, I can hear the reverb happening in my headphones. I'm able to monitor it. And the same goes for if music's playing. I want to be able to hear it in my headphones. So if you've got headphones plugged into your computer and you want to hear this audio, right now it is dead silent on my computer because my monitor is off. So you can see levels coming down here. And if you're watching it on twitch.tv/Net of the Dead, the music is playing very loudly right now. It looks like, so I'm going to turn it down a tiny bit. It's playing, but I can't hear it. And that can sometimes be off-putting. Sometimes it's what you want. But if you do want to hear it, you want to come over here and choose monitor and output. Yeah, you got these three options here. Oh, yeah, I'm battling over here. Sick, yeah. So if I choose monitor and output, I can now hear it. Oh, you can probably hear it coming off of my laptop very quietly. And now I can hear it. If I were to choose mute output, I can still hear it coming out of my laptop, but you can't hear it coming out of the stream. It's not being sent to that final product. It's not being sent to that projector window, so to say. There's a time and a place for that, and today ain't the time to get into it, but just ignore that. For right now, you want to choose monitor and output or monitor off. I'm going to turn the monitor off because I don't need to hear the song. I'm doing my own thing, getting ready for the show, but I want the people to hear the music, so I'm going to keep that on. So now we've got a nice little thing. We got a waiting screen. We got some music playing. It sounds very epic, so people are very stoked. We come back. We're at our main section. We go back. We can go to the web. We can check out what's going on with the web. And I can comment on it because this is Ned's world, and I can comment on things if I want because that's who I am. And yeah, I think we got a pretty healthy stream here. A few extra things. These are little bonus things, if you will. I'm going to show you. Let's go over transitions. Transitions would be a quick little bonus thing here. So we've got the scene transition right here. This is our all-time transition. This is for everything. So when we click, it's a fade, it's a fade, it's a fade. I can change this to just cut, and that just means it cuts to, cuts to, cuts to. Pretty decent. There's a couple other things. I can add a swipe. When you choose a swipe, it opens up this thing here. This is a pretty common deal in editing software, like putting the frame and the webcam in the same folder so you can move them together. Oh yeah. I'll show you source groups. Yeah. Okay. So this A thing, this is a standard thing in a lot of video programs. Is it's just showing you what the transition would look like, and it's just using A and B as your videos. So if I preview it, it's swiping from A to B, A to B. So I'm gonna make this go from top to bottom. So preview it would look like that. I'll hit OK. And now every time I make a change, it's doing that default up transition. Pretty fancy looking, right? And we can make that, this duration right here, we can make it take its time if we wanted to. I mean, hell, 1,000 milliseconds. I mean, we could comically add a whole nother zero to that. How long does that transition take? Hey, it could work for somebody. With how long that transition is here, I don't know how the audio sources would work. I bet if I transition to this, is the music playing at the same time as my audio is playing? I don't actually know. Maybe it's crossfading it. That's a little homework for you. Watch the Net of the Dead stream to see what that does. So we're going to switch back to this. Jesus Christ. Wow, incredible. Okay, I'm going to drop this back down to 300. This once again shows that OBS, there's so many options for you. So let's go back over to our web. Nick brought up a good point. We've got this. We've got our cam laptop and our camera frame. I'm actually going to lock this logo so I don't accidentally click it. And I'm going to lock the window capture so I don't actually click it. So I've got these two things. You can actually add folders here. So, we got sources that we can add, and we got a group. So I'm going to add this group. I'm going to call it camera. And I'm going to drop both the camera frame. I'm holding shift to select both of these. I'm going to put them in that group. So now I can close that, and I've got those both coming out. Now, you'll notice this turns on and off. I can add a transition to this one object, and you can do it from over here. Seems like a slow audio fade too. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I've grouped this guy up. Oh yeah, you can also select both. Oh yeah, let's do it that way real quick. I'll pull these both out real quick. And we're going to delete that group. So we can select multiple objects. These are our two guys right here. Oh, it looks like they got lost. And I can right click it and I can say group, group selected items. And then we can call that camera. Okay, so we got a nice little fancy group here, and we want to give it a transition. So let's, here, I'm gonna move this video because it's real weird. Let's put it on, let's put it on the most recent episode of FM Rager. How about that? There we go. So I've got this here. I'm gonna right click this folder, not the objects themselves, and I can actually add a transition. So it's saying a show transition and a hide transition, meaning hide, show. So let's make the show transition a slide. It's going to slide in. And let's make it do from the bottom up. So, and it's showing A and B, but think of B as nothing. You know what I mean? So I can hide this, and when I show it, it slides up. So I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a hide transition. I'm going to make it slide, and I'm going to make it go down. Preview, pretty good. So now every time I show and hide, it slides in and out. Already looking very, very professional. We've got animations. And I mean, that looks clean. That looks sweet. That's cool. So let's, here, sorry. Look at the old paper here. That's not too bad. I'm going to show you two more things, and then I'm going to get out of y'all's hairs. It does look really sleek. Yeah, it's they added that pretty recently, and it's really done a lot for me. So we've got all these like really fluid looking transitions that are it just helps make the stream look more professional. And mind you, we got this stream. We can save this video at the end. You can either record it directly from your computer, or you can save it from Twitch. Download the video, throw that on YouTube. As you can see over here, we've got every episode of FM Rager. That's 155 episodes of FM Rager, and that's not including all the episodes of Wednesday Night Rager, all of our spin-offs, including Sketchin' Rager, Reading Pager, and In the Effin GaRAGE. I mean, you can find so much content there. But that's not what this is about. This is Ned's World right now, not FM Rager. So let's... two more things. We're going to go back over to our waiting section, and I want to add a little timer because that's really exciting. So this is a little bit more complex. This is more advanced. I'm going to do this kind of fast for the sake of just showing it off, but I think it's definitely something you should look into. I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go to Scripts. I'm going to add something. There's some built-in scripts here, but you can actually download some because this is, of course, an open source program. They've got one already built in here called Countdown. So I've got this cool thing. I'm going to give ourselves a 3-minute countdown. And I'm going to close this right now. I'm going to add a new text box, and we'll call this Countdown. I gave this a capital C. I believe OBS is case sensitive for a lot of stuff like this. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to put blah in here right now because that does not matter. But I am going to come over here, back up to Tools, back up to Scripts, and in this Countdown script, it's asking me for a text source. Waiting text. Oh, see, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to call this Countdown. I don't know why it didn't show me the Countdown text. I'm going to hit close. And now it has turned that countdown text into a timer. So if I close this and turn it back on, it resets itself, which is pretty nice. So I can come back over here. You can see it's going on its own right now. We can change the colors. I'm sure a yellow would pop off of this nice. And let's give it another outline for the sake of it. Let's blast that border like we did for our other text. And now we've got this this pretty sweet thing here. It looks like I accidentally turned my waiting text into a timer, which I don't know how I did that. I think it's because I clicked it earlier, but it should have. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It should have changed. Yeah, what's going on here? Okay, well, it looks like I've accidentally changed this into this. So because it's kind of locked in this. I'm just going to rename it text, and hopefully that confuses OBS enough to lock it out. Oh no, this text is all whack. Whatever. Oh no. Did I delete it when I did that? Oh gosh, what a nightmare. There we go. I accidentally clicked read from file. What read from file does is you can actually pull just like a text file on your computer and it will input directly into there. Pretty neat stuff. So I got this here. I've got this timer going. Pretty freaking sweet. You know, you could just wait for that timer to go to the bottom. I'm not adding an S after the world. It will just be Ned world. So yeah, pretty good. One more little trick, and this is the last thing I'm going to show you, is we've got this multi-camera situation already set up. Pretty cool. And if I want to use it, I got to go over here and hit show, hide. Pretty cool, but if you're in the heat of your show, sometimes you want to have just like a quick button to push. OBS has some built-in settings. I'm going to click the settings deal here. And there's actually a hotkey section. And it's very overwhelming to look at. You can see already just scrolling down it that there's like so many options. I will go through this very quickly. Just a quick idea. So you've got this full deal here that says like start streaming, stop streaming. It's pretty much all this stuff right here. You've got another section that is your main. You got another section that's your waiting. So it looks like it's got each of your scenes in these hotkeys. But then it also has every element. So it's pretty detailed. There's a lot of different things you can do with hotkeys, and it leaves you open for a lot of options here. So I'm just going to go to my my main, and you can see I've got show camera, hide camera, blah blah blah. So looking back over here, the one I was showing and hiding was cam webcam because cam laptop is under it. So I'm going to add something for show and hide webcam. I'm going to do control 3. And basically that means if I hit that and it's not hide, it will show. If I hit that and it's not show, it will hide. I can use the same keystroke for both of those. So hit that. Bam, 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 bam. Pretty fucking exciting. The hotkeys are great, but it is a universal hotkey. So even if I come over here and I hit Control 3 like in Chrome, and Control 3 made it go to the third tab, if I come back here, it has done that same thing. So when you're setting these hotkeys, you want to be really careful that it's not something that's going to affect your usage of the computer. So if you're playing like a video game and on your computer, and say you're using that window capture to show off your game, and in that game you hit Control 3, it's going to change your camera no matter what. So you got to watch out for that. I don't really use the hotkeys. I've found a new system, and there are a lot of built systems that will allow you to make those changes. But the hotkeys is a good place to get started if you want to like work on building a stream deck, quote unquote. That's what they call it. And I'll actually show you real quick. Think of this as the end of your lesson. I'm going to go over here and actually remove those hotkeys because I don't like them. You can do that by trashing it. Apply. So I currently use, I'm going to go back over here. I'm using something called Updeck, and it basically turned my phone into a remote control. And it took some like really simple programming, but I was able to build buttons that basically do what those hotkeys do. So when I push that little phone guy, it makes the phone lines come up, and I can push it again, and it makes it disappear. So there's a lot of options for ways to build out OBS. And because it's an open source program, people are making all sorts of just insane additions. If you just go to obsproject.com, where you're going to download this program, you can head over to the forum, and there is just like an ass load, pardon my French, there's an ass amount of plugins built here. If you go over to plugins and scroll in, people have just like all sorts of extra stuff. NDI is a very important one. If you want to interview people via Skype, an NDI source is very helpful. I'm not going to get into what that does. NDI is actually how I'm showing you this laptop on my computer. I'm using an NDI source to send my entire laptop over to the other computer. But there's all sorts of stuff. Image reaction. Yeah, man, there's some really cool stuff. OBS MIDI. If you have like a MIDI controller, you could use that as your stream deck. So by pushing the C note on your MIDI piano, you could make that be Control 3 to change your camera. There's so many insane options. So you could actually hook up 4 cameras and then make your piano the controller and play piano really obnoxiously. And every time you're hitting the key, you're like, ding, 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 ding. And I don't know. There's so much to do. Like even, let's take, for instance, that DDR pad back behind there. You could technically plug that DDR pad into the computer and using the MIDI of the controller, turn those MIDI inputs into keystrokes and those keystrokes into functions for OBS. And then you can step left, step right, step left, step right, changing all sorts of stuff. So it's such a versatile program. There's so many options with it. Oh, man, this is one more thing I got to show you. I mentioned recording a class as an option. So if you're using this window capture and watching like an online lecture, and you wanted to capture the audio from your computer, there's something called desktop audio. Now it's not down here. I'm not sure if it default shows or not, but if you go to settings and you go down over to audio, you can see these global audio devices. That means it's always, no matter what scene you're on, it will always be in your audio mixer. And I'm going to add one called desktop audio. Yeah. Now, if I'm playing something off of, let's see if this actually screws up my computer because it's streaming. Okay, cool. So if I were to play anything off of my computer, let me make this small so you can see everything I'm doing. Oh no. Oh God. Oh gosh. Oh, what a nightmare. Oh, what a world. What a world. Why are you doing this to me? Why is Windows not that great? Okay. So if I'm going over here to this Effin Rager YouTube video and I hit play on this video, now you can see that it's actually coming out. I'm just going to mute my computer speakers. So it's playing the video. You can see this great video of me geeking out. It's playing right here, and you can see that as I'm talking, my microphone has one input, and this desktop audio has another input. So I'm actually pulling the audio from the computer. So you can play audio from your computer, or you can do, like I could watch a video like this, and it will... as it loads. Come on, buddy. There you go. Now you can I could be commenting on my own episode and my own incompetence on Monday night's episode. And if you turn off this desktop audio, obviously it mutes it. So this is a pretty good thing to have, but remember, because that's global, if we go back over to our waiting section, you want to make sure that desktop audio is muted, because if you're doing stuff on your computer and the desktop audio is on, suddenly you've got this epic dragon music playing, and now whatever YouTube video in the background that's playing, look at that. Whatever YouTube audio in the background that's playing is also going in the background. So the desktop audio is nice, but you want to be careful of it. I don't know if they've fixed it yet, but I don't believe Mac has the desktop audio ability. There's a workaround for that, and if you're looking for it, just Google around. There's something called Soundflower that will fix everything. Yeah. What do we got from Nick? For what it's worth, I use desktop capture for playing games on stream. Dealing with window captures became troublesome. You can also double your audio in OBS if you are sending to monitor. That's a good point. If this, I could turn the audio on this computer, on this laptop stream. Oh, whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I can turn off. On this laptop stream, I could turn on audio for this, and it would be coming double through my computer. You got to watch out for that kind of stuff. And what Nick is saying about display capture. Display capture is a little different from window capture in that you will see everything. So window capture, we're choosing a specific window. Display capture is more like what you're looking at right now. You can see the mouse. You can see it all. You'd see it all. Yeah. Is there anything, Nick, that you can think of that we should bounce over? Otherwise, it's 9:20, so I don't mind wrapping up the old garage. Come back over to our main thing here. Basically with OBS, there's so much to learn from it. It's an open source program. People are constantly working on it. There's so many options. Even our intro screen where the numbers are bouncing around, that's just something I found in the OBS forums. And I go on there once every couple of months just to see what plugins people are making. There's all sorts of crap. There's all sorts of really cool things people do with OBS. I think you covered a lot. Anyone can make a pixeler as fuck stream now easily. Okay, good. Yeah, good. I'm hoping to turn a lot of this stuff into a more comprehensible YouTube video that isn't an hour and a half long. But this right here is a very raw version of like, here's how to get yourself started. Here's how to get yourself in a comfortable stream that's got several things. We could add one more that's like, the stream is over now, go home. But you'll see that screen soon enough as this stream ends. But I just want to say, before I go any further, give it a shot. You know, what do you have to lose if you're streaming live? I think I might be streaming on Effin Rager to one person, and I can only imagine that the Net of the Dead stream is streaming to no one in particular, or maybe someone has wandered in. I'm very curious. It looks like we got 2 viewers right now, so that's a little exciting, I guess. I don't know. It's such a Wild West scene, I suppose, the YouTube talk show, or the YouTube, or not the YouTube, the Twitch talk show, the blah, blah, blah. It's such a Wild West. There's so many things you can do on it, and these programs themselves are just so versatile that you could, there's just so much to do. This supports green screen. You could screen yourself out and put yourself somewhere. You could do a game show on here and have different graphics pop up. You can have different videos pop up. You know, I've got this rainy GIF. I just go on YouTube and search stuff. Make your shit with no editor. Yes, sir. Yeah, do it all live to tape, on camera, as you go. There's just so many options. That's all I can say. No gods, no managers. Yes, sir. Choking victim. Yeah. I don't know. I guess the most I could say is get out there and freaking create. I love helping people out with this stuff. If you ever have any questions, I am at Net of the Dead on everything. I'll throw that in the chat so it appears on the screen. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitch, hit me up anywhere. I'm more than happy to help you figure out what you're doing. There's so many things on here. There's so much troubleshooting to be found. It is an open source program, so there's glitches, but B, there's also just like problems with the software itself. There's a lot to work around. You just got to run your head against it, blunt force, and just do it. You just got to do it. I meant no editor in the sense that you can say what you want, but you will take it onto. Oh, yeah. No, that as well. Yeah, there's no one stopping you. If you're on Twitch, you can do pretty much anything besides playing copyrighted material. But even then, you can mostly get away with that. They'll just kind of slap you on the wrist and won't allow you to save the stream. Oh, let me quickly get into just sending your video itself. Last thing, or sex or violence stuff. You can wear a bikini and get in a hot tub. That's new. But yeah, save that nasty stuff for your fanzine. Real quick, I didn't actually get into like the most important part. Guys, go to your settings and go to your stream. This is where you set up where you want to stream to. I'm going to disconnect my account real quick. You can either connect your account or you can get the stream key. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you can Google how to find stream key. Stream key is a universal thing. So if I went to go live to Facebook Live, in Facebook, I would find the stream key, add it here, apply it. If I wanted to go live to YouTube, find the stream key, add it to that, blah, 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 go live. Basically, that just shows you where to send it. Yeah. So that's about it. I'm losing my voice. I realize I only took one sip of my beer that I opened at the beginning of this, so I'm going to finish that. I'm going to get some dinner in my belly, and I'm going to sit patiently and wait for all the exciting shows that you guys are going to make. I'm going to play some music and say, my friends, thank you for coming into my garage. Until next time, keep making and don't be faking. Goodbye.